going on, Skye Squad? We are back in the building and happy Monday. Okay, so we got a couple of things to talk about today. We're going to talk about Salt Lake City. Now, I know we got a lot of things going on with Salt Lake City with regards to the Nguyen situation and Bravo failing to take a stance on this matter. So we're going to see how things go in Salt Lake City, but we do have a little bit of news coming from there. Now, as you guys know, on this channel, we have been covering everything going on with the Nguyen situation on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. For those of you guys who are unfamiliar, Nguyen made some very problematic anti-Black Lives Matter Facebook posts back in 2020 at the height of the George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, so we had a lot of things going on, a lot of racial tension, and her posts were definitely, they go beyond insensitive. I mean, these were bad, these were horrible. They were almost to the point where they were inciting hostile and violent behavior against Black people. And to me, that's not necessarily something that anybody should stand for, and in particular, a network. But anyway, I digress because I could go down a rabbit hole with that whole situation, but I'm gonna save it. Now, with regards to that, we did get word that the cast would be speaking out about this in some way, shape, or form, that it would get addressed, okay? So we did have several cast members come out and say something about it. And last night on Watch What Happens Live, after the episode of Salt Lake City, Andy did ask Lisa Barlow about those posts. But the way that he asked the question, he basically said, what do you think about the post that Jenny made on Facebook a couple of years ago? It wasn't a couple of years ago, Andy. It was actually in 2020. We are only just starting in 2022. Let's call a thing a thing. It might as well have been yesterday. It was before she was hired. It was while someone should have been taking a background check on her before she got on this show. But again, I digress. Anyway, Lisa did make another statement with regards to this comment, and here's what she had to say.
I don't condone those, and I'm completely anti-racist, so, I hope everyone does better.
He then asked whether or not she was surprised at whether, at those posts that came from Jenny's Facebook page, and she did say that she cannot remember the last time she went on Jenny's Facebook page. So let me know what you guys think. Was this enough? To me, it's really not about the cast addressing this. I could honestly care less about them at this point. I really care more about the network removing this person as talent from their roster. And again, I do not want to see this addressed on the next season of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because as I've stated before, this to me is trauma as entertainment, and it did not work well for Dallas, and I don't think that it's gonna work well for Salt Lake City either. Now, moving beyond that, Lisa is also in hot water because of some comments that she made that are going to appear on the next episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for those of you guys who are still watching, okay? Now, I have not determined whether or not I'm going to continue to recap this show. I usually like to honor my word and recap shows that I'm working on until the very end. However, in light of this entire situation, I just don't know what to do. Leave your comments and your thoughts down below as to whether or not you're going to still be watching this show or not, or whether or not you guys feel like we just need to not watch it at all. I'm trying to debate about what I need to do. Again, I like to honor my commitments that I make to myself, but in light of this, it's very difficult for me to watch, Jenny on this show and then have to recap it knowing that she's still there. I just don't know that I can do it. But anyway, with regards to Lisa Barlow, she is in hot water for this hot mic moment, okay? The moment is her, exiting a scene, and she either goes into the bathroom or into her room, and she is yelling about Meredith Marks. Now, you guys know that the two of them were like sisters at one point in time, but it's not looking the same any longer. They have been beefing and they've had tension all season, really due to Lisa's friendship with Jen Shah, when Meredith felt like Jen Shah was coming after her family. Now, fans and Meredith has sort of questioned why Lisa tended to have a lot of blind loyalty to Jen, but for Lisa, she feels like she's just trying to get the ladies back on the same page. What do you guys feel about this whole situation? Who do you guys feel like is at fault for the demise of the friendship between Lisa and Meredith? However, okay, now that we, get your opinion on that, comment that down below. But let me go ahead and tell you guys exactly what Lisa had to say about Meredith. Lisa says, quote, "Meredith can go F herself. I'm done with her. I effing hate her. She's a WHORE and she's effed half of New York." Okay? So, this is your friend that is like your sister, and you called her a hoe and basically alleged that she has been with half of New York City. Now, I don't know exactly what led to making Lisa this angry and upset, but this hot mic moment is one that I am sure she will not live down. And when Andy asked her about it last night on Watch What Happens Live, she was just basically like, "I regret my poor choice of words." Girl, that was more than a poor choice of words. Those are fighting words right there. Honestly, if you say that about me and you're supposed to be my friend, I don't care how mad you got at me. We not friends no more forever, okay? The friendship is done. It's kaput. It's finished. I mean, it is what it is, And I understand in that moment, she might have been upset. She might have been hurt. She might have been angry. It was real emotion. But doggone it, you ain't gonna say that I done messed with half of New York City and think I'm gonna be friends with you ever again, okay? All right, so next we have Candace Dillard Bassett, who is probably one of the only other stars from Bravo to really come out and speak at length about this entire situation that's gone on with Jennie. Now, I'm gonna actually give you guys the information that Candace said, and then we'll talk about it. Shout out to our guys over at Bro Chat for posting this insert of what Candace had to say. Candace said this: "I know what it feels like to have to look at oneself in the mirror and grapple with hurtful things I have said. What I also know is that everyone deserves a chance to learn and grow. Jennie must be willing to first acknowledge that there is a bias and do the work, whether organically or intentionally, of unlearning. This is not something she can do in the public eye, and the Black, Indigenous, people of color her bigoted views target will not let her. Willing or not, reflection needs to be done away from the platform. We do not deserve to be triggered by the presence of someone who justified unlawful Black people just over 1 year ago in our spaces." Now, I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter, okay? What Candace has stated here in this tweet really wraps up exactly what we have been trying to say all along with regards to this whole Jennie situation. And I'm gonna actually give Candace props for saying it and speaking it out loud on a public platform. See, a lot of people think that this is about, oh, she needs to be fired because of what she said. When really, at the end of the day, is that if you are genuinely apologetic for something like this, then you need to do your unlearning. You need to do your self-reflection someplace else. I do not want to see that as entertainment, because that's not why I'm watching Bravo. Nor do I want to watch the show and be continuously reminded of these posts as she goes throughout that journey. Additionally, that needs to happen elsewhere. I'm not saying that there is not a time or a space for her to grow, but at the end of the day, I don't want to see it on my TV as entertainment, okay? I don't. And so therein lies the problem. And I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Candace spoke nothing but facts in these tweets, okay? And when you're right, you're right. So we're going to give her credit on that for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to think about. You know, it's a lot of food for thought with this whole situation. Let me know what your thoughts are about what Candace had to say down below, because I do think that she hit several great points. She hit the nail on the head with these points. And, you know, if Candace is bringing this type of energy in this new season of the Real Housewives of Potomac, I'm gonna be all the way here for it, because it definitely showcases growth. It showcases who I believe internally, mentally, she is in general, because I know that she's smart. I know that she's intelligent. But when put to use like this, that's powerful. So anyway, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button. We're gonna continue to bring you news on this. These tweets right here actually just kind of re-energized me for some reason. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep this thing popping. We're gonna keep this train rolling. Let me know again your thoughts down in the description down below or in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.